Hello, hello. Okay, looks like it's loading. Just give a second for people to join. Is anybody out there? Hello, hey. Okay, it looks like people are joining. Hello. How's it going? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm on my laptop and I never use my laptop anymore. It's getting old, so it doesn't run the fastest. I prefer to go live on my big computer, but I'm in the kitchen. The lighting in the other room isn't that great. Hello. Okay, so real quick before we get to talking, where are you guys from? Comment below where you're from. Y'all know I always want to know where y'all are at. Most of you guys know I'm in Indiana, so it's kind of quiet here, but yes. So I wanted to go live because I was just thinking. I do a lot of thinking when I'm just sitting here doing nothing. And I was in the shower just having this conversation with myself, not really out loud, but you know what I mean. And I just wanted to go live and just kind of talk to you guys about what I was thinking about and just kind of get your thoughts because I feel like it can be a pretty good conversation. And I've danced around this conversation in the past on my channel, but I really wanted to talk about it a little bit more because even when I got out the shower, it ended up prompting me to pull up some articles and look at some stuff on the Census Bureau. And I don't know, it's been on my heart, man, for a while. So I just kind of wanted to talk about income level and around what the current statistical data says based on the last census as to how income is distributed in the United States and how we can work to get more of a piece of that pie. And I've had this conversation with you guys before about my rationale for getting an MBA and why I've been trying to encourage so many of you guys to go that route. And I know recently it just seems like on social media there's been this whole debate as to if it's worth it to get a degree, if it's not worth it. And I know you guys know I'm an advocate of people going to get, degrees and stuff like that, which I'm not saying that's for everybody. And I also think, you got to be careful about what type of degree you decide you want to get because they're not, from an income level perspective, they all don't give you the same opportunities. But I wanted to talk about it because when I was looking at the data, it was so compelling to me. And I'm not sure which year these charts were from. I was trying to look and see if it was from the last census or if it was from the one before. Because a lot of the stuff I was seeing was from the 2016 census. But either way, this looks like a reputable site. The site is called Statistical Atlas. And basically what they did is they took the Census Bureau data and they ran it in a whole bunch of different ways to come up with charts. And the charts kind of give you a breakdown by race, by household, by individual, as to how income in the United States is distributed. And it was so compelling to me because when I was looking at this, and when you look, especially among African Americans as compared to other races in the United States, I was blown away. And I was blown away because when you look at households who make less than $10,000 a year, or excuse me, this was individuals who make less than $10,000 a year, African Americans held 25%. 25%, that's huge. So when you think about African Americans in terms of how many African Americans are there across the United States as compared to other races, there's about 13%. So 25% hold the income level of $10,000 or less. So that means we're taking up more of that space than other races. And I was just wow, that's crazy. And I say that to say, as I was looking at different levels, so as you go up the chart, it starts to and I'll try to show you guys, but you're not going to really be able to see it from that far away. But pretty much the color green is African Americans. And as you go up in income, it basically disappears. It just goes up and disappears. And then races Caucasian, Asian, they get bigger. So they start small and they get bigger. And I was just like, yo, that's so crazy to me. And excuse me, y'all, I just had a Coca-Cola and I keep, I'm like, hold up. But anyway, it's just crazy to me because like I think it was like a week or so ago, I was sitting in this meeting at my job, and there's like in the room just a lot of people in very senior level roles, like more senior level than me. And I'm looking around in this room and I'm thinking everybody in this room makes six figures plus, probably 150, 175, 200. And I'm just like looking around in the room and I'm just like, wow, I'm like one of, I think there were four women, and of all of the people in the room, there were like three minorities. And it was probably a room of like 40 people. And I was just sitting there like, yo, this is crazy. Because in this room, in the particular industry I'm in, I'm just like, wow, like, you know, it's kind of crazy to think that there's not that much representation of people that look like me. And you do see a lot of other races. You see a lot of people who are Indian. You also see a lot of like Asian. But in terms of like people that look like me, there's probably like three of us, maybe. And I'm kind of, it might be like five now that I think about it. At my particular campus, there might be like five women. And then in terms of men, there might be like, if you take all of us, like 10 or 15. And that's just when you think about like people who don't work on the floor, people who actually like work within like corporate. And I think somebody just said, can I share the links? If you actually just Google, because what I Googled was income breakdown in the United States. And then basically what you're going to get is like a whole bunch of like websites that pull it up. And the one that I clicked on is called Statistical Atlas, which breaks down household income, individual income, and you'll see it. I think it's like the fourth one down from the top. And then there's also the Census Bureau, which gives you the exact data. But this one I kind of liked it because they actually like ran these charts in different ways. So anyway, so yeah, I was just like thinking about this, and it's really been on my mind, you guys, because I know a lot of people in like some of my recent conversations were like, you know, and just like giving a different perspective on why, and how do I want to say this? Because sometimes I feel like I have to dance around this conversation because so many people now are just not for secondary education. But hold on one second, y'all. My son just ran through here. Whenever they come through here, I was getting nervous that they're going to get on camera. So I feel like I lost my whole train of thought. But hold on one second. Hi. Okay. So yeah, back to what I was trying to say. So long story short, like I just really feel like, you know, I would love to try to be somebody who motivates or inspires some of you who maybe have never thought about getting your MBA or your degree to really consider it and look into it, because sometimes I just feel like there should be more people that look like us represented in the conversation, because there are things happening in our country right now and decisions are being made, and a lot of times there aren't people who look like us in the room when those decisions are happening. And it's just alarming because you just think about that and you think about like the industry that I'm in. It's just like, man, you know, there just really should be more people who are representing a different perspective, because at the end of the day, it's not just, you know, a one-sided one culture that is being represented across this country. Like, we're a mixed bag, and for there to not really be a mixed representation in these really senior level roles is just, it's unfortunate, you know. And I think that it's not one of those things where we're just going to get placed there. Like, you really have to position yourself to be a fit and to be somebody who's qualified to be put into those roles, you know. And it's not really something that I aspire for, because I just know, like, in terms of work-life balance and all that stuff, like, I kind of enjoy having a little more free time. But I just really feel like, man, it would be dope to see more people who look like me represented in positions that are making decisions that are going to impact all of us, you know. So, yeah, it's just been on my heart, you guys. I want to do, like, more topics on my channel, just, like, talking about this and maybe, like, giving some perspective for people who don't really know. Because I know, like, when I was going to school and deciding to get my MBA, like, I didn't really know anything about an MBA and what that meant or how that could help me what was involved, the differences in schools and stuff like that. And like, I feel like sometimes it can just be overwhelming. And if you don't have somebody who, understands and can help break it down for you, it can be intimidating. Excuse me. And I'm just kind of like, man, I really would love to use this platform as a way to take some of that angst away from people who have thought about, wanting to pursue higher education. And I think, one of the benefits too to higher education, regardless of what you decide to do, even if you decide you want to be an entrepreneur, is what you learn, man. Like, and that's actually why I titled the video. I said achieving the six-figure mark and leveling up intellectually, because I will say one of the things that my degree helped me do, and when I say my degree, not necessarily my undergraduate degree, I think I learned some stuff with that, but I really feel like the biggest place where I learned a lot was in my MBA program. And that's why I put the leveling up intellectually, because I just feel like there were some conversations I had when I was going to school to get my MBA that were so thought-provoking in class, and the material we went, like sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I would have saved some of that stuff so I can like go back through it, because it was really good. And at the time I didn't even realize how helpful it was going to be. But that degree, it helped me so much from just having the right perspective for how to approach certain things. And if you run a company, being exposed to marketing and supply chain and finance and all those different areas that you're going to have to, be a part of when you're running your business. And it can really help you take some shortcuts that other people may mess up on when they're, doing a business on their own and they didn't have that background. So it's a lot of money though. So that's the other thing. I mean, obviously there's pros and cons, but man, yeah. Someone said Oprah Winfrey is worth $2.8 billion. What is she doing with her? I don't know what she's doing with her money. I don't know. But when you look at those numbers, the census numbers, that's taking everybody in the United States. And at the time of, I want to say, the last time I looked, it was like 110 million people in the United States. It's probably up now. It's probably like 115, 120. And of those 120 something million people, the average person in the United States, and I'm going to have to go back to this, but I believe the average household income was like 30-something thousand dollars. So when you take that and you divide the amount of money that exists in the United States, and then you start to look at each person and how much they've made based on their taxes, the average is like $30,000. And I'm pretty sure that's the number, because I just looked at it this morning, but my phone done flipped out. But that's why I just feel like, we have to position ourselves to get a bigger piece of the pie, and it's not just going to happen. It's hard to talk and paint this on. So, but I'm also not saying that a degree is the only way to do it. There's so many ways to do it, y'all. A lot of people go the entrepreneurial route and it works out. It's hard though, man. Like even doing YouTube is hard. I be looking at like Dre and like Tiffany, and they be pumping out videos. I'm like, whoo, that's a lot of work. So even being an entrepreneur is hard work. Like either way, it's going to be a lot of work, but it's just really a matter of like what you're going to do and how you're going to position yourself. And I think that's like kind of, one thing that I think a lot of people don't talk about when they get into this debate is, the research part, and making sure whatever it is you decide you're going to do, that you research it so that you can really position yourself to be the most successful you can be. Because I think sometimes we just jump into things. Oops, I just messed that up. Sometimes we just jump into things, even if it's a degree. It's like, oh, I need to get a degree. Everybody told me I need to get a degree. So people go to school, they just pick something. They don't really research it. They go into it, and then they find out they really can't make any money, or it's really competitive and hard to get into whatever field. And then they end up being dissatisfied and unhappy because they walk away and they go, dang, a degree is a waste of money. And it can be for a lot of people, especially undergrad degree. I don't really know too many people who have gone the MBA route at a school that's like ranked really high that say that. But undergrad, you can for sure go down that route and end up being, dissatisfied. I know people who I'm really close to like that, where they got their degree And then once they got it and they went to go get a job, they were like, hold on now. Like, I can't make any money doing this. And it's really sad to have gone all the way through school and then find that out, when it's time to go look for a job. So that's why you really got to research, no matter what you do. If you say you're going to start a business and you want to open up let's just say a hair store, you want to sell hair on Instagram, like, you got to research. You can't just jump and go, you know what, I'm going to be rich doing that. I'm going to sell hair and I only got to sell this many bundles. But then you don't take into account, like, you have to actually purchase hair to do it. You got to have a website. There's all these other expenses and things to manage. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm just going to do this and boom, I'm going to be wealthy. It takes a lot of work, to be successful in anything. And that's why I really think research is just so important no matter what you do. But I'm obviously biased, you guys, because y'all know I did go one particular route. And, obviously I feel passionate that it can be a good route for a lot of people, because a lot of people that I know who've gone the same route have done really well. I actually have one friend I had talked into going to school to get his MBA, and I talked him into going back to Michigan State where I went to get my MBA. And it's just funny because now to this day he's always like teasing me about the fact that he did it, and like he just thanks me for pushing him to want to do that. And it's just dope to see him because he's been so successful, and he's somebody that I really look up to. And like, it's just dope to see how doing that has really set him up to make so much more money and to position himself for senior leadership roles in the company that he works in now. So it's just exciting to see that. And sometimes I want to encourage you guys, those of you who would be interested in a route like that, but maybe would be like, intimidated or don't really know where to start. I would love to like motivate you or just be somebody, a sounding board is probably the best word. I wouldn't even say motivate you, but just be a sounding board to be able to talk this stuff through. So, that's really what I would love to try to use this platform for, is to hopefully be that for some of you guys and help you process what you're thinking if you need that and you don't really have friends that are able to, provide that for you. But I think that's also like probably a good point, since I just made that comment about friends. It is so important to get yourself around people who think like the level you want to be on and who are already either there or have an open mindset to whatever it is you're considering. Because I will say, when I did decide that I wanted to go back to school and I was like, I want to go this route, I know this is going to open up these doors for me, there were a lot of people that were around me who said I shouldn't do it, who said, it was going to be a waste, or had a lot of really negative things to put into my spirit. And I'm really glad that I decided to not listen to that and to try to get around people who either were already there or who were going after what it was that I was trying to achieve. And I'm telling you guys, doing that was probably one of the best things I could have ever done. Because when I think about, and I try to be careful because I don't want to say certain things to come off like braggish, but I say that to say the level that I've been able to get at financially, going the route that I have gone in my life, I don't really know how I could have done that and be the age that I am today and have a secure stream of income. And I think the reason why I use the word secure is like, let's just say tomorrow my company was like, we don't need you. Thank you for your services. I feel very confident that I could go somewhere else and get a good role, making probably more than what I make here in Warsaw. So, I say that to say, like, there's a lot of people we see nowadays on the internet and they're living glamorous lifestyles, but things could change tomorrow, and every month, and that can be kind of exciting too, and I'm not saying it to knock it at all either, but I just say that to say that there are other ways to go and to get to that point. And when you look at the numbers, like statistically, there's not a lot of people that look like me making the level of income that myself and a lot of the people that I went to B school with are making. So, if it's something that you're interested in and y'all want to talk more about it, definitely let me know, because I would love to have that conversation on my channel. and have that dialogue with those of you who are interested. Wait, I'm looking at these comments. Ba, ba, ba. Hi, Tanya. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys are in here, be sure to hit the thumbs up button real quick. These eyebrows, man, I hope they look okay. I always feel like I mess my eyebrows up. I don't know. Sometimes they come out okay, but lately I just been like, especially this one, it gives me so much trouble. Yeah. I hear you. China says, I'm trying to push myself for 2019 MBA at Arizona State. That's awesome. Want to level up in career status. Don't want to be an assistant forever. Yeah, like, it's something because when I decided to go back to get my MBA, I pretty much did it because at the time I was working in pharmaceutical sales, which is a really great job. But at that time, I kind of felt like in that role, you were like a walking commercial. So basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with pharmaceutical sales, that job, you details what they call it. You detail doctors or physicians on products and disease states. You educate them a lot of times about the disease state because they may not know the level of detail that even you would know. And if you're going to be in this live, please don't say disrespectful things because all I'm going to do is hide you or block you. This really isn't the place for that, and my channel really isn't the place for that. So please don't do that. But anyway, back to what I was saying, and I kind of lost my train of thought. Hold up. What was I saying, y'all? Because I got to hide some folk real quick. Yeah, please don't say disrespectful stuff on my channel. Okay, sorry, y'all. I forgot what I was saying. Hold up. Can somebody remind me because I lost my whole train of thought. I'm like so mad that I lost my train of thought. I was flowing. Oh, being a boss. Oh, what was I saying about being a boss? I'm like really sitting here like, what was that? Where was I going with my point? Whoever watches this back later is gonna be like that was weird. Yeah. No, it's never too late to learn. Oh my goodness. And honestly, even if you don't decide to go that route, of going to actually doing a whole full-blown MBA program, there's so many ways to do it. It's really just about getting the information. You can get the information from books. You can get the information in a lot of ways, Sometimes even just getting around the right people, which I think that might have been where I was going, is around getting around the right people. People who can help you, help open up your mind. But yeah, I was explaining pharmaceutical sales and that whole role. But so basically what pharmaceutical salespeople do is they detail doctors, physicians. You learn the disease state and then you get a product. Most of the time you have one product that you have per disease state. And sometimes you'll have because I think when I was at Pfizer, I had 4 products, 4 disease states. So your job is to basically detail the doctor, educate them on those things, on the product and the disease state, because sometimes they may not even understand the disease state to be able to prescribe the product for. For example, I used to sell Lyrica, which is for fibromyalgia, and at the time, fibromyalgia wasn't even really indication or disease state that was recognized by a lot of health insurance companies. And it later became more recognized, but a lot of times you have to really educate people on that. And I thought that was really exciting, and it was something that I really wanted to pursue because I'm man, to be able to be someone that doctors rely on for information is dope. But then over time, it kind of became one of those things where you're literally a walking commercial. I could detail some of my old products right now and just recite to you the things that they would put in our heads. So I really wanted to get myself or position myself to be able to, how do I want to put this? Take more of a role in the decision making part or the vision or strategy for a company versus just being someone who's like executing the strategy. I wanted to actually be a part of like the creation process of what the rest of the company is doing. So that's why I decided to go back to school to get my MBA. And I also just wanted to learn, I wanted to learn like what is supply chain and what does supply chain like do and how do you better a company based on the supply chain of a company, and what is marketing and how do you really do marketing. Like I know in theory what it is, but like I wanted to understand some of the like strategies that companies could use based on these different functions. And I just learned stuff in B school that I don't know how I would have learned all the different things and been able to touch on so much, as well as the specialty that I ended up going into. So my MBA is in marketing, and then I have this dog done chewed up my brush, but I have a sub-concentration in strategy, which was kind of fun to learn that. But I say that to say, I went back because I really wanted to be someone in corporate that could add value at a higher level than I was adding being someone who executed on the vision. And a lot of times in jobs, like you're like the doer, like they come up with the strategy and you execute in your role. You go do it, you know what I mean? You go make it happen. And it's just really dope to be a part of like the strategy making and the actual vision for whatever part of the company that you're going to be in. And that's where I think going for higher education can really help position you to get to those positions without having to work for 30 years to get there. You know what I mean? A lot of times it can take a long time to do that. And I'm talking about corporate right now. When it comes to entrepreneurial routes or roles, it can be totally different. But in terms of like corporate, this is has been my experience. Let me look back at some of these comments real quick. Let's see. What do I think about the EpiPen debacle? Honestly, I don't really know too much about it, other than I think the company that has EpiPen was raising the price, I think, and making it more challenging for people to have access. But I don't know too much to be able to speak or have an opinion on it, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of roles, that student loan debt. China Black says loan debt, you don't have to pay back for 20 years. It's only 10 years max if you work in professions like nurse, firefighter, police officer, teacher. That's true. Yeah. Virgo says she worked with pharma people in doctor's offices. They would come and talk about products. Yes, I used to bring breakfast and lunch and dinner. We used to go to dinners and all that. It was fun. Yeah. Okay, and then China says she'd love to learn more about supply chain management. Yeah, supply chain is dope, man. It's really cool, but um, it's not a specialty that I could see myself being in like long term, but it is really intriguing. Okay, I'm gonna try to do these eyes too real quick, y'all, while we talk. I don't know if I'll be able to though. Like the last few days, I've been doing a cut crease, and it's been like fun, like playing around because I'm not at work or I don't have work or whatever. But I'm not that good at cut creases, and I never really try them because I never really have like, oh, see, look what I just did. Got the concealer all up here. But I never really try it because I just don't ever really have a place that is, good to wear it. I feel like I can't be walking around work with a cut crease. I'd be looking like, where are you going? Oh man, yeah. But yeah, that's just some what I wanted to talk about. But it's crazy, you guys. When I was looking at that data, it was just nuts seeing how many people in our country are living below the poverty line. Like that is just, oh my God, it hurt my heart. Cause I remember, man, like when I was in college, it was so hard, man. Like I remember being on food stamps and getting assistance. Like it was hard. And I went to school. I got my undergrad degree in like, I think it was like 3.5 years, because I was so tired of being broke. Like I was just like, let me hurry up and get up out of here because I need more money. And, whew, yeah, I'm totally messing this up, y'all. See, this is why I shouldn't be trying to talk and do my eyes. But I just remember being so broke, like, oh my God, I gotta get up out of here. I need to hurry up and get this check. Like, and then before I went back to school to get my MBA, I was just like, man, pharma was cool. It was good money. But I'm like, you know what? I want to make more. I want to be able to do more for my kids than I had been able to do, up until that point. And that degree really did help. Like, it's amazing the doors that can open up. Like, just from even, like, getting in the program. I think I've told you guys before, like, when I first started my MBA program, I went to this career fair, and the career fair is called National Black. And at the career fair, there were, like, companies like Coca-Cola were there. All the big airlines were there. And, like, it's funny because if I would have applied for their companies before I had started my MBA program, they probably would have just deleted my resume. But it was crazy when I come to the career fair. I'm like interviewing with these companies, and I'm just like, yo, this is so crazy how an MBA can open up so many doors, man. And like the income level, like when you're looking at these jobs, like, yo, that's the salary. Like that was just crazy. I just remember being like so in shock, like, yo, this is crazy, you know? Like that piece of paper, man, it's expensive, but you can do it in ways where you can like minimize the cost. And the way I did it, my MBA actually cost less than my undergrad degree, which is nuts to me because it opens up so many more doors in the undergrad. But it's crazy, you know. So if any of you guys out there are like that, thinking like that's something you would ever want to do, let me know because I for sure would love to help you if I can. And even if it's just being a sounding board or, answering questions. Even I can connect you guys with certain programs that help with that. I'm like messing this up so bad. Oh my God, I'm be looking crazy. I have a couple of hauls I was gonna record today. So if y'all see those videos and my makeup is crazy, don't talk about me. I don't want to see nobody in the comments talking about, look at that crooked cut crease. Yeah, wait, I gotta look at this. Look at these comments. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, she said you gotta finesse and get those scholarships. That is so true, man. Mm-hmm. Tanya says she feels like she needs to research other cities because her current city doesn't have many opportunities. Girl, that's how I feel about where I live at. Like, I know if it ever didn't work out at the current company I'm at, there's really only like one other place I could go work and make what I make, or otherwise I probably would have to move to a big city because it's like that here. Like I have to drive every day to work, and I drive an hour both way. Yes, an hour both ways, and like that drive gets annoying after a while. Like I'm so over it. So I feel you, girl. I wish I could get a job here where I live at, but it's not nothing. Nothing that would be like something I would feel secure in. Probably could get something, but I don't know. Be worried that it would like I get laid off at some point. Thank you. Yeah. It's crazy, and this is such a sidebar. Julio just said we can make this nation great. And, I was thinking the other day, like, remember the slogan from Donald Trump? The slogan was Make America Great Again. And I was thinking, like, yo, we really at this point right now are at the point where we really do need to make America great again. There's so many areas where we could improve now. We've taken a backslide recently, and it's really unfortunate. But I just hope that through my channel, I can help some of you guys position yourself. I can be that friend that maybe you don't have, that you can talk about these topics with, and maybe can open up a perspective you didn't have. Because if you stay in the mindset of certain people, you're going to miss out on opportunities that you would have, been a good candidate for, just because some people say it's not a good thing. Like, I had put a post up on Facebook talking about getting an MBA and like degrees, and I had said something like, can somebody tell me without a degree, list some jobs that you can get in corporate America. Now this is the kicker. In corporate America, where you make more than 6 figures. And for the most part, everybody wanted to argue about how, like, you know, you can be an entrepreneur and you can do all these things, which is true. But the question is around going somewhere and getting a job where you apply for the job and you make 6 figures. And, like, I don't know. It was just kind of sad because a lot of the people who were discouraging other people in the post and saying, like, it's a waste of money and you shouldn't do that and blah, 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 were like the same type of mindset people who told me not to pursue that. And I just think, like, man, if I wouldn't have done that, I don't know where I would be right now, but I am sure I wouldn't be where I am, you know, at this point in my life. So, you know, you just gotta be careful who you let get into your head. And don't look at these posts y'all see on social media where people like bash certain things and just take that as like Bible. Because a lot of the people who are saying certain things or trying to discourage you from certain routes that you may have in your heart that you feel like are fit for you, you have to really look at the fruit of the people who are giving you the advice, you know? People sometimes will try to give you advice and you got to look at their fruit. You know what I mean? And like that's even goes for people who are really successful being entrepreneurs. A lot of times people can go like, I've seen really popular YouTubers say on their pages that they don't promote or they're not necessarily advocates for people going to school. And I think a lot of times that can be dangerous because while one route may have worked out for someone specific, that same route, you have to look at like how easy it is for other people to replicate that route. So if you're looking and following a YouTuber who has 1 million subscribers, that's possible. But how easy is it to replicate that and to be able to reach the mark that they're at and be successful enough to be able to make really good income? Because a lot of people are doing and living at that or have that mark. Let's just use, and I'm not saying this person's name to pick on them, but let's just use Chris Sales as an example. Chris is I think he's got like 2-something million subscribers. And there was a video that I saw the other day that where his girl had accidentally posted his income. And his income is what a lot of my co-workers make. And I'm like, it's awesome that he's able to do that as an entrepreneur. But if you're giving up everything and not going certain routes because that's what you want and you aspire for, that's great. But man, you better hustle hard and do all those things. But I also think there's something to be said about looking at, like, you know, the routes that you can easily get into and be a good fit for you, that you would be happy with and be happy doing. Because, and I think happiness is a really important part of this and a really important key to figuring out what it is you want to do, because a lot of people aren't happy in corporate. And a lot of people go and try to be YouTubers and I'm using YouTube as an example just because it's easy to use as an example with what I do right here, you know, me being on here. But a lot of people look at this route and they go, ooh, that looks so cool. But to be successful even on this platform is really hard. Like, it's a lot of work. You know, you got to love it. You know what I mean? And you really want to love whatever it is you decide to do. So I say that to say, like, you know, if you can find a route that you can go, definitely research it and figure out, like, okay, with what I am passionate about, what makes me happy, is this something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? And doing every day and feeling good about. Because even going an entrepreneurial route, you better love it, because it's going to be a lot of work, you know? You have to give up a lot to do it. And maybe even give up more than people who do take the shortcuts of going to school and spending the money. And that's kind of, in my opinion, what I think school is. Like, you pay that money for the shortcut because of, you know, other people who go different routes. It's a lot of work, man. it's a lot of work. It's not easier, like, at all. I commend people who don't go to school and who make it happen, because man, it's a lot of work. So I feel like I'm just kind of like ranting right now a little bit. This has been on my mind though for so long, and I really hope no one takes offense, because in my heart, that's not my heart to offend anyone. But I just really want to be somebody who, can give you guys different perspectives to think about when you're considering what you want to do with your life. Because nowadays, it's not really a lot of people who are like me on these platforms and sharing their perspective. I don't really know too many other people who are similar, now that I think about it. Yeah. And who wear pigtails. Oh, man. Wait, let me look at these comments real quick. Yeah. Wait, I gotta look. Johnny says, I'm moving to Houston this week. Which business schools do I recommend in Texas? Okay, so one of my friends went to a school in Texas, and I got to think about what the name, because I'm not too familiar with all the B school. Like, the B school names typically are different than the main school's names, but I think he was in Austin, I want to say, because his shirts were always that orange color, almost like this orange right here. Like, everything was like that color. Pretty sure he was in Austin, and his school was ranked higher than my school, but I really don't know like any other names off the top of my head. But I will say, if you guys do decide that you wanted to go back to school to pursue your MBA, definitely research it, because in my opinion, not all MBAs are created equal. A lot of people go the route of getting an MBA and they get it from schools that aren't really ranked as high. And getting that piece of paper and spending all that money, you want to make sure you're spending it on a program that's going to have the clout, that's a good word, the clout in corporate or wherever you go work, that will get you the income that you want to get. Because if you spend 40, 50, 60, $80,000, some people spend $100,000 on their degree, you want to be able to get that back. And you want to be able to get it back fast, So yeah, definitely do some research on like which schools. Look at the rating, and you can get online and just Google. Yeah, I think it was the University of Texas, Austin. Yeah. Yeah. But definitely research like what schools and what their rankings are and what the payback is, because all that data is there. Like all these programs, they have the data on payback, and they have the data on, placement, and just like do your research for sure, because it will be something. I know people. I was actually talking to one girl who she finished her degree. And she was like, man, Kristen, I spent all this money on my MBA, but I got it from a place where it really isn't like ranked that high. And she's like, I'm having such a difficult time getting a job. And I felt bad, man, because that wasn't the experience that myself and my classmates had. And, you got to look at these programs and like look at their placement percentages. Like, the data is there, you just have to look at it and look for it, because it'll tell you of the class what's their percentage placement. And you can look at that for even undergrad. You want to know, like, okay, if you have 100 people that graduate from this class, at the end of the year, how many of those 100 people are going to have a job? And I think at my program, it was like 98%. So, that's something you really want to look at. And then also look at the average income of those people, because they do collect that data. These programs, they have it, it's there. But if you don't look at it and then you go and it doesn't work out, like you're not able to really get the income that you want, like, man, that would be the worst, So definitely do your research for sure. But I hope I can like really inspire some of y'all to like, just even consider it, because you can open a lot of doors. But again, it's not the only way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So China said, quick money entrepreneurs have no sense of retirement. Oops, wait, let me go back up. Don't know what IRAs, Roth IRAs. Yo, that is, I will say that can be very true. Like, I have a really good friend of mine who is an entrepreneur, and I always ask, like, yo, have you started your retirement yet? And the answer is no. And I'm just like, man, like, at this point, I have enough retirement where I could pay off most everything I have, and that is a goal of mine. I do want to pay off my house and my car and like have no debt. But like at this point, like my retirement has built to a certain level, and I'm just like, yo, I couldn't imagine being my age and not having anything. And I don't care what you do, definitely be saving for your retirement. We should talk about that for sure at some point because you gotta think about that, you know? And even just what is it? Life insurance, because a lot of us don't have life insurance, and that's why you see people pass and then they need to get a GoFundMe. Like, I couldn't imagine my family not being able to take care of things after I'm gone. Like, we gotta just, you know, be really smart. And that goes for if you go to corporate, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever, man. Like, you gotta be smart about your money, man. Because it's cool to floss and it's cool. Like, I see all these people, they get a little bit of money. You know, they do these different roles. They get a little bit of money. And the first thing they do is go buy up some stuff. And it's like, you know, you start asking questions like, hey, have you, you know, put any of that money aside? Have you saved anything for when you are going to retire? You know, do you have life insurance? And most of the time the answers to those questions is no. And like you know, I'm trying not to cuss on YouTube, but I wish my family would have to be broke after I pass. Like, no, if I pass, my kids are gonna be good, you know? Like, we gotta be smart, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, and honestly, I could buy up a bunch of purses and all that stuff, but while I have money that I owe for stuff, y'all not gonna see me flossing on YouTube. I'm sorry. Like, it's expensive. I be looking at people flossing. I be like, yo, that must be nice, because the way my stuff's set up, like, I just don't feel comfortable. And I remember at one time, and this is funny, I had got separated from my ex, and I was like telling him, like, yo, like, my money is tight. And he made a comment to somebody else like, yo, she be saying her money tight, but her perspective of money being tight is different than, you know, other people's perspective of money being tight. And I think we got to get to a point where like your thought process around when you're able to, you know, acquire certain things is different than just, ooh, I got this little bit of $500. Now it's going to burn a hole in my pocket because I want to go buy this and buy that and buy that. Like, no, we should be thinking about how we can like position ourselves better. Like, even with YouTube, the little bit of money I make on YouTube, I don't spend that money on nothing. I take that money and I either invest it in my channel, like the little intro trailer I just paid for. That I had to pay somebody to make that, to edit it, to do everything, and it wasn't cheap, you know. And there's a lot of little things in there that he did that I think were really cool and I liked, and you know. But I literally take the money I make here and I reinvest it, or I put it in the bank because I know I'm gonna have to pay a lot of taxes on that at the end of the year. And a lot of people don't think like that. You know, we just really got to get to a point where we're being smart about our money and we don't feel like we always have to floss, you know? Like, I don't know. It's only a couple things in my life that I really spend money on, and one of them is my car, and the other one is my house. And sometimes I even regret the car. I be thinking like, I should just go get a hoopty, something dependable, that's big and safe, and like let that be that. And I've thought about getting rid of that car a few times, but I say that to say, like, man, don't let what everybody else is doing around you and what we see on social media be the dictator for how you need to handle your money. Because if your money's not right, your bills aren't paid, you don't have at least $1,000 in the bank, like, do not spend that coin. You know, anytime I get a bonus, I always have to look and say, okay, what do I owe? Because if I owe somebody and I'm thinking about what I'm about to go buy, like, my thought process is messed up, you know? And I think that's one thing I love about my fiance is, like, he's really good when it comes to his money. And he's not really somebody who like flosses and, you know, like he has nice things, but he gets his nice things like decently and in order. You know how in the Bible they say do everything decently and in order? He does everything in order. And that's something where it takes a lot of discipline, but don't be letting these people y'all see on social media get your money messed up, man. I went on a whole tangent talking about money because of the comment about retirement. Yeah, it is okay to treat yourself. It definitely is okay to treat yourself, but not all the time. You know, don't treat yourself to a point where you're in debt or you spending your last, like you get a little bit of money and it burns a hole in your pocket. Like I know the feeling. Like there are times where I know my bonus is coming or I know I'm about to get my YouTube check and then my mind starts thinking about everything I could buy. Ooh, I could buy this, I could buy that. Ooh, I want that Chanel bag. Like it's a Chanel bag I want so bad, you guys. The black one. But that bag is $2,000. And I'm just like, how can I spend $2,000 on a bag? Like I don't care how much money I have. I have to have my bank account really stacked up and have no debt on my credit cards before I spend $2,000 on a bag. Otherwise, I don't need that bag unless I got $2,000 in it. So, you know, I see a lot of people with that bag and I'll be like, I wish, must be nice, but the way I'm set up right now, boy, I can't get it. Like, yeah, no, I'm cool. Yeah, man. All that flexing for the internet, it's all fun and games until somebody passes away and that GoFundMe gets set up. Like, man. And we see it all too often. You see the GoFundMe and then you go to the person page and on the page they're holding money or holding a stack of, you know, 20s, hundreds. And you just be like, dang, like all that flossing. And now their family is having to figure out how they're gonna, you know, put them to rest. And I just be like, man, I really wish we could like flip things around because you see that so much in our community, man. You don't really see that much in like other communities as you do in ours. Yeah, Brian is really good with his money, man. Like, I actually last night I was like, yo, I need you to like help me because my downfall with money. Okay, Kirks's, you so loud. My downfall with money is food, y'all. If it comes to some food, that's one thing I'll spend some money on is food. Like I love to eat like good food, and that was one thing when I got to a certain income level and I was able to afford certain restaurants. Like oh my God, there's certain days where I don't have my kids and I'm just like I want to go to XYZ restaurant, and I know the bill's gonna be $150, but it's like it's just so good, you know, and Brian be like, we got food at the house. Like his thought for we got such and such. We ate, you know, we ate spaghetti yesterday. We got spaghetti today. It's still some in there. And I'm like, but I want to go to blah blah blah. And he's like, why? Like you gonna be just as happy full when you eat that spaghetti. So that's my downfall is food. I love to eat, y'all. Like oh my goodness, yeah, food is tough, man. I love to eat out. I be eating out too much. That's why I started to do like meal prepping and stuff and like planning better. Cause at work, I live like an hour away from my job. So if I don't pack a lunch, I can't really just come home and like get some food. And it's crazy because I realize like I'm spending like $15-20 a day eating out because I like to eat good. You know, I like to eat stuff that, and if you want to eat like healthier at lunchtime, you usually got to go somewhere and spend a little bit more. I told myself, I was like, you gonna quit that. Like, you need to stop doing that because I'm spending all this money and you figure you spend $20 a day, like at the end of the week, that's a lot of money, you know? But if I do meal prep, I can spend, a pack of chicken, I can get 5 chicken breasts for $9. And then you take the chicken breasts and you get, like, I like to do that Greek chicken. So I can make that whole meal for like $20 and have that for the whole week. So I just saved $80, you know. I think it's $80. 60 or 80. But anyway, y'all get the point. Plus, I love to cook, but I'm bad with the meal prep because a lot of times I'll meal prep and then forget the food. I'll be at work like, dang, I left my meal prep at the house. Yeah. So, okay, I wanted to ask you guys too. I've uploaded like a few videos where I was like cooking or showing you guys some of my favorite things to eat. And I'm curious if you guys like those videos. I've gotten really good feedback from people because I think everybody kind of likes food. Obviously, like food is just amazing. It's so great. It's one of the best parts of being alive is you get to eat some great things. But I have all these recipes that I want to try. And if you guys would like to see more videos like that, I would love to try those recipes on YouTube with y'all and, you know, share them with you after I try it and see if it was good or nasty. And then maybe you guys can try them too and let me know what you think. Like, if you guys like those videos, they're fun. I kind of just like doing them. I didn't realize how much I like to cook. I wouldn't describe myself as a cook. I just like to cook, you know, because I like to eat. And a lot of times I'll go places and eat certain things, and then I'll be like, yo, that was good, man. I should just learn how to make that at the crib. And you learn how to do it, and it can be so satisfying because it can save you a lot of money. But, yeah, so if y'all like that, let me know. Oh, so I have a question. Dre actually asked this question yesterday on his live. I was watching his live yesterday while I was getting ready to go out. Brian was DJing last night, but he asked a question to his subscribers, and I thought this was a really dope question. So I'm really curious to hear from you guys that are on this live right now. When did you find me? Like, when did you find me on YouTube? Where was I at? Like, what was the point that you found my channel? How many months, or maybe you remember the subscriber amount? When did you guys find my channel? I'm always curious because it's a lot of you guys that found me a long time ago that talk to me. And the one thing is like a lot of people watch the videos and don't talk. Like I'm like that with some people. I watch them and I don't really like comment as much, but I will watch like all their content. And I definitely enjoy their content. But, you know, when did you guys find my channel? How long have you been a K-star? China said meal preps are a struggle. Girl, yes. But you should try that one meal that that I was talking about a minute ago, that Greek chicken. That stuff is good. But I will say by day 3, the Greek chicken can get kind of like, okay. But you also, when you eat that, you're not going to feel bad about calories. Because that's my other issue is when I eat out, I eat way more calories than I need to be eating. And I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight because I know I'm at the point now where like my doctor is like, okay, Kristen, your BMI is starting to creep up there, and I just want to be healthier. No, you can't come over here, boo. Mommy don't want you on camera.
Can't you just turn the camera around?
Can't I just turn the camera? Okay, you can come get a hug. Hold on, y'all. Hurry up. Come give me a hug. Okay. Love you. Okay, go play. Children. My son is so affectionate. He like always wants hugs, you guys. He's like, can I have a hug? I'd be like, I don't know where he gets it from. Because I'm not that affectionate. My little brother was telling me that the other day. He's like, yo, you are not affectionate. And I was like, really? He's like, no, you're not at all. And I'm really not. I remember somebody on my channel tried to like say something about Brian because they're like, in the video, I was like giving Brian hugs and kisses. And he was just looking at me like, so they tried to say something like about him not giving me no hugs and kisses back. And I was like, truth be told, he's looking at me like that because every time he tries to do it to me, I'm always like, because I am not that affectionate. But anyway, Cassandra says she found me from my Dominican Republic vlog. I just watched those like a couple days ago. And oh my gosh, it made me want to go back. Oh, that was such a fun trip. Bye. Oh, Shanna says she found my channel while searching for information about career advancement. Oh, my divorce video. Yeah. That was a really good, like, just, I won't say a really good video, but it was good from a perspective of, like, I met a lot of you guys from that video. It was just, like, a great, just connection point for me and people on YouTube. Of all the videos I've done, that was the one where just so many people, like, either chimed in or I connected with offline, and just we talked about certain things. Like that was a gosh, I feel like that was like a year, maybe even longer. A year ago. Let me see what are everybody else saying. Yeah, Tanya said anything she thinks you forget. Yeah, I always forget my food, girl. Oh, you found my channel through a career video. That's really cool. Yeah, like honestly, to this day, one of my most searched, like in terms of people find me. Don't come over here in the camera. No, you got to be over there. You can't be on the camera, babe. Sorry, Adrian. Always want to get on YouTube, y'all. But yeah, one of my most searched for videos or found through YouTube search is still the pharmaceutical sales video. Because people search about pharmaceutical sales, and I think that one's like at one of the top in the search results. So yeah, I need to start doing more. I said that I'm actually changing my schedule around on YouTube, and I think I'm just gonna go back to the old schedule where I would do Sundays are like hauls, and then Friday used to be like my blog, and then I used to do Monday was like the career topics, and I think I'm gonna go back to that, but not do Monday. I think I'm gonna do Sunday is the hauls. We'll keep Sunday as the haul day because it's been haul day for like a few years. And then I think I'm going to go back to doing like some sort of a like vlog style video on Friday. And then I think the career topics I'm going to do on Wednesday just to give a little bit of break, because when I used to do them on Monday, it would be hard for me sometimes to record that video and the fashion kind of video on Sunday, like back to back. I kind of needed that break. So I think I'm going to do Wednesday and just get back to it. That way we can have like the grown topics. But I don't want it to be just career. I want to kind of talk about everything. I want to talk about the stuff you talk about with your girlfriends or your friends, you know, like everything, relationships and love and sex and just everything. Like, I feel like that would be dope. Just like mature topics. But I have to figure it out because sometimes those videos can be like not as engaging. So I'm still trying to get the format and just everything down, but that'll probably be on Wednesday. That's the vision I'm having right now. Yeah, yeah, I used to do Money Mondays or something like that. I don't think I'll call it Money Mondays though this time. I think it's going to be something more generic. That way we can talk about everything. I want to talk about everything, y'all. All the things we think about. Any topic that like pops in my head that is like thought provoking. That's what I want to talk about on those videos. Yeah. Oh, Charmaine said she found me from the bra hack video. Yeah, you know, I did the first one a long time ago when I talked about bra hacks. And I did that honestly because I used to do videos and people would always ask me like, what is that you got on underneath your dress? And how are you wearing a backless, like how are you backless right now with that dress? And I would wear like those pasties, or I'd wear like those the little stick bra or whatever. So I was like, well, let me just do a video so I can break it down, because I get that question all the time. And that's how I ended up doing that video. That video actually performed pretty well too. That was pretty cool. But yeah. Wow, yep, it was about a year ago. Yeah. Okay, I was just looking back at these comments. Wow, we've been on here for a while, y'all. It's been an hour already. That's alright. That just goes to show you how slow I am doing my makeup. But I wanted it to be okay because, like I said, I'm about to record a couple hauls. I think I've got like 3 or 4 hauls to record. So I'm going to knock them all out. So if you see me with the same hair and makeup, you know I had to take care of it on my off day, y'all. And I need to hurry up because the twins go to their dad at 6 o'clock tonight. And I wanted to cook for them before I go. And I think I'm actually going to record it. Where's my phone at? Because I wanted to tell y'all about this recipe. Where did I put my phone? Oh, here we go. Okay. So this recipe that I want to do, I found it on Facebook. And it's like a, have you guys ever heard of like a, I think they call it a shrimp broil boil, where you like put everything, what is it called? Hopefully y'all can see this picture. But I want to make this so bad. It looks so good. Like every time I watch these videos where they have like the shrimp and the corn and the sausage and everything like in that foil, it be look like my mouth is watering right now just looking at that picture. So I wanted to make this. I think I'm gonna make this tonight. But yeah, man. I was like, I'm gonna make that today because it looked good, boy. And I think like it probably won't be too expensive. I'm gonna go to Sam's Club and get the what do you call it? Get the sausage and maybe the shrimp too. I think they sell shrimp there. But I want to get everything in bulk because I think I'm gonna invite some of my friends over to have some with us. So what are you guys doing today? What's going on? Since it's a holiday, I'm so happy to have a 3-day weekend. And Brian was working last night, DJing. He worked all day at his job, and then he literally had to come home. He had like an hour to chill, and then he had to get up and go so he could set up. And it was an alpha party, so he DJ'd the alpha party, but it was fun. I was on Snapchat acting up. So I see I gotta say it again. If you come into these lives, please don't say anything disrespectful, because when you do, most of the time YouTube isn't even gonna let it get posted. It's gonna be flagged, and then I'm just gonna hide you or delete you. So please don't do that, because this is not the channel for that. That's not what my page is for. So, you know. Hey Erica, how are you, girl? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to keep it respectful. It don't matter if they delete me. Adrian going to say, don't delete people because they might delete you. Oh my goodness. Children, y'all. Hello, hello. Aw. Ooh, yeah, Pinterest. You know, my best friend does that too. She finds her meals on Pinterest. I need to get on there and look, because I don't even know the first thing about finding meals on Pinterest, but my best friend says she does that too, and that she keeps like a list of everything like on her, in her like little page or whatever. I'm going to have to figure that out, because I'm always looking for like recipes and a good way to organize them. Right now I've been doing it on Facebook, and then on Facebook you can like save stuff that you see, save posts. So a lot of times I'll save the post and then I'll just put it in like a folder that I have that's called food. So that's where I found like most of these recipes I've tried is from Facebook, because I'll see them on my timeline. They be looking so good, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. And there have been a few I've tried that were like really delicious that I was like, okay, this has to become a part of my repertoire. Like there was one I did. Which way does this lash go? There was one recipe I did though where it was like a macaroni and cheese, but it kind of looked like a fettuccine alfredo the way you make it, but it was like a macaroni and cheese you make on the stove. Y'all, it was so good, like fire, so good. But I ended up saying, you know what, I can't make that all the time because I already know the way them calories is probably set up. No, it was just bad. It was so much cheese. Like, oh my God, it was so good. But I don't make that one too often. There's also this Alfredo recipe I love. I was gonna make that too and share that on YouTube, but that one's got a lot of calories too, man. Like I know after I eat it, it just be so delicious, but after I eat it, I just be like, ooh, like man, I need to get on the treadmill. Okay, these lashes, y'all. I'm not the best with putting on lashes. I be messing up every time. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Like that video I did, my little poor eyelash. Now I just got glue on my contact. My little poor eyelash was like hanging off. I was like, how did that happen? It had been on all day though. And knowing me, I probably messed with it because I wear contacts. And I was just like, oh my goodness. My little video almost got messed up. Yeah. Oh, Erica, you said you follow a lot of food pages. Girl, yes. It's like, and it's the best when you come across one, like a recipe that just looks so good and you know, like, okay, let me try that. And then you try it and it's fire. Like, that's like almost the best feeling because I've been wanting to tell everybody, like, try this recipe. My best friend, she was asking me for a Brussels sprout recipe. That's how I had found that other one, that Brussels sprouts I did. But I didn't even end up telling everybody if the Brussels sprouts were good. They were really good. But I shouldn't have put that much the cheese in there on there so early because it kind of like browned the cheese more than I would want it. But it was good, y'all. It was so good. Oh, you got my live late? Girl, YouTube do be tripping sometimes. It happens all the time. Like, sometimes the people that I have their stuff set, they get on there and I'm like, dang, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even see the video. But yeah, it was so much cheese. Oh my gosh. I gotta share that recipe with y'all. It was delicious. Ooh. It was so good. Like, imagine a bomb macaroni and cheese that you get out the oven, but it was cooked on the stove. Like, fire. And you cook it literally just like an Alfredo. It was just with different cheeses, and then it was with chicken. It was just like an Alfredo, like how you would make Alfredo. But instead it was macaroni and cheese. Very delicious. Okay, I hope these lashes look okay. I bought these eyelashes from Sephora, and you're supposed to get like 30 wears. So I be putting them like, I take them off, and then I put them inside of water so I can like rub the glue off, and it's worked out pretty well. But they are starting to look kind of like the shape is changing. Oh, they might be on their last leg. I've only worn them like a couple times though. I don't know. They were expensive. I better get my whole 30 wears. These things cost $30. What did you say, baby? Oh, okay. I thought you said something to me. Yeah. Yeah, them Brussels sprouts was fire. They were so good and like just tender. But definitely do not forget to put, and I hope I gave you guys the recipe, but if you make that, don't forget the garlic, the fresh garlic. If you like garlic, oh my God, that's like the best part. Don't be using that garlic like the stuff in the little jar container. Get the fresh garlic, like the kind that's like already chopped up and like in those little circles. That stuff, oh my God, fire. And it's crazy. I didn't start liking Brussels sprouts until recently, because I used to be like, ugh. But you can cook your Brussels sprouts to be really good. Like, they honestly, now, the way I cook them a lot of times taste like broccoli. I'd be like, these boys taste just like broccoli.
You like broccoli?
Baby, I love broccoli. And broccoli is really good for you, Adrian.
I only like broccoli when it has cheese on it.
You like broccoli that don't have cheese. You don't only have to have cheese on it. He talking about he only like broccoli with cheese on it. That is not true.
Yeah, it is.
I think my favorite place that has broccoli is Cheddar's. Cheddar's broccoli is fire. But they cook their broccoli with fresh garlic. Like, that garlic will change your whole perspective on vegetables, man. Like, for real, for real. Like, I'm really liking this Fix Plus. But you gotta be careful when you put this on with clothes on, because you'll look at your clothes and there'll be like a sheen of gold. I had put this on after I had my dress shirt on. I had on a blue dress shirt, and I put this stuff on, and oh my god, you guys, it was like gold. Like, someone literally sprayed gold on my shirt. It was so crazy. I had to take a wet towel and wipe it off. So it does give you a gold sheen. That's for sure. And it sets your makeup pretty good. Even though I don't think it's a finishing spray, not a setting spray. But I gotta make it dry. Yeah, garlic be good, y'all. Erica said, I love garlic for everything. Girl, me too. Once I discovered that that fresh garlic, oh, it was over. Like, over. I'm like, I've been putting it on everything. And it makes me feel so much better for using fresh garlic instead of using like garlic salt. Because you know all that salt that they add and whatever the preservatives, and that fresh garlic be fire though. So good. So good. Yes. You know what? I kind of want to put a little bit of color under my eye. I didn't do that. But I kind of want to do that before I finish up my makeup. And then I'm going to record these videos real quick, you guys. Go knock them out. Like, real fast. Like, you really have to be in the mood to record sometimes. Because if you don't, it can come across. You're like, why are you so dry? So stale. Sometimes I have to listen to like artists like Cash Doll or somebody who's like hype. Get you feeling in like a really good mood, real confident. And then record. For sure. Yeah, girl, them Brussels sprouts were fire. They were so good. Oh my goodness. And it's funny because not everybody likes Brussels sprouts in my family, but I think everybody liked those. They seem happy. I'm about to eat the rest of them today before they go bad. Yeah. Okay, wait. Sorry, y'all. When I'm doing my makeup, sometimes I can't talk and apply at the same time. You know? It can be hard. Yeah. Princess. Oh, where did I get my necklace? This is Tiffany. This is the Tiffany beaded necklace. And there's earrings that came with it, but I just wear my diamonds because the earrings, like, over time, because I wear this, like, every day, y'all. Y'all know this. But over time, they started to slip out the back. And they were so expensive that I didn't want to lose them, so I quit wearing the balls. I actually need to send them back because they can tighten them up, I guess. But, yeah, this is the Tiffany beaded pearls. I think they call it beaded pearls or something like that. They're the silver ones, though. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about this necklace. I love it because it's so classic, and you can literally wear it I don't sleep in it, but you can literally wear it every day with just about anything, and it looks good. And I've wanted to buy other necklaces, but I'm so lazy. Like, I'm such a traditional, like, classic kind of personality when it comes to what I wear that a lot of times I look at other stuff and try to, like, match it up with my outfits, and I just be like, let me just grab my beaded necklace. It's so easy. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Erica. Yeah, Erica said they also have the bracelet. Yeah, the bracelet is so pretty. Girl, I used to want that thing too, but then I never ended up going back and getting it. I think I ordered this necklace and the earrings when I first started my job, And I had gotten like my first bonus, and I was just like, I'm gonna buy that. It's like one little thing I buy for myself. So I've had this probably about 6-7 years now. Yep. Mine is starting to like get old because like the balls between, you can see where they like rub against each other. It's getting older, but whatever. Yeah, girl. Yeah, I love this necklace. Me and my brother bought my mom this necklace, but I think we got her the bigger one, and she never wears it. Now that I think about it, that lady never wears that necklace. I'm gonna have to text her like, how come you don't wear that necklace? But I had just wanted to chat with you guys for a little bit. Sorry, I was like ranting earlier a little bit. Hopefully, you appreciated the conversation some, though. You know, I just want to have some different conversations with you guys and maybe talk about some things that you may not be talking about with others, and hopefully you can get that dialogue here. But I guess I'm going to go. Hit the thumbs up button though before y'all roll up out of here. Make sure you hit the button. As Dre would say, smash that button. Oh, smash the thumbs up button. All right, you guys. Wow, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm about to roll up out of here. I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day, though. Enjoy your time off if you're off of work. And I will catch up with you guys later. I'm going to try to upload this video today, so you might see me on YouTube here a little bit later on if I get to edit. All right, bye.